way, a lot of parishioners there who have been crying, saying, why would anybody do this to our church? And we have heard those questions being asked in a lot of different places in Baltimore.
Faraji Muhammad, he's a Baltimore peace activist and radio host. Thanks, Faraji, for being with me.
You're welcome, Carol. Thank you.
So, standing directly behind us, members of the Maryland National Guard carrying some great big guns. How does that make you feel?
It doesn't make me feel good at all. I think that what we're seeing right now is that my city is truly in pain. My community is in pain. And I think that the atmosphere right now is that it furthers the idea that in order for there to be some real control, there has to be some level of violence. There has to be guns present. There has to be. And this is what the very nature of what young people in the city of Baltimore, particularly black youth, are fighting each and every day. You got police outside of high schools. You got police interaction, the negative police and contentious relationship between police and young people. So this is what we're seeing every day. So this is not helping. And so essentially what we've been seeing, especially from last night as we were out in the community at North in Pennsylvania, what we saw last night is that as much as there was damage to property, as much as there was damage and fires and everything, there was pain, Carol. There was real pain. And I was, you know, me and my brothers from the NOI and FOI and many other pastors, and we were standing there, and you can hear young people screaming out the names of folks that have been killed by police or who have died in police custody. So they're throwing rocks, and you killed my cousin, you killed my sister, you killed my brother. That's pain. So I think that outside of all of the property damage, we got to talk about the great damage of human beings and the lives that have been shattered.
See, I can understand that pain. What I can't understand is destroying your own neighborhood. Destroying businesses.
You know what? And I mean, look,
like the CVS, that's the only drugstore in the neighborhood.
Right, and you know what? Sometimes that emotion and rage comes out in such a way, it's emotional, it's very raw. What we're doing right now is that myself representing Piece by Piece Baltimore, and you got leaders of a beautiful struggle, you got churches, you got the nation, you got other folks that are out right now that are helping to clean up that part of town right now. And so, yeah, we can say, well, don't understand it, but that's young people. That's that raw emotion. But here's one thing I want us to keep in mind. This is our movement. So we're not going to disassociate ourselves from what's been happening. The real issue, outside of all of the damage and the fires and the arrests, is that we're looking for justice. And on the ground level, that's what the people want.
The sad part about this is everybody's talking about the violence. They're not talking about justice for Freddie Gray anymore.
And
They're talking about these idiots like looting stores and setting buildings on fire.
Well, see, you can say that, but at the end of the day, when you use certain language, like you said, idiots, or use thugs, then what about those who broke the spine of a man and while they had him in custody? Are they not thugs? You know?
I mean, say if they're
or
guilty of that, I would say yes, they are.
Yeah. You got all these resources, military-wise, coming into the city. So at this point, we need to make sure that young people are not seeing it, because I don't want to see the loss of life when it comes to young people. And I'm sure that there is some anger there. There's years of anger. This just didn't happen overnight. And it certainly didn't happen over the past 10 days. So there's years of feeling of aggression that's
declared a state of emergency at the request of Baltimore City. This order deploys the Maryland National Guard in order to help restore order and to end the unrest that we witnessed today and tonight.
All six of those police officers who were named today to be charged with first-degree murder. They say that they are going to march on the City Hall on Thursday, and at that point, a little impossible here, but at
Y'all, everybody been asking me, what's my take on what's going on in Baltimore. The way the media is portraying it, I hear the word thug, which is a new word for niggas. The media portraying it like, life is cause and effect. And the world media is beautifully showing everybody the effect. But nobody's talking about the cause. The effect is angry young men. And that are just fed up with being dealt with in inhumane circumstances. This is not new. Everybody's got a camera now on their phone, so it looks like it's new. But this has been going on since we got off the boats in this country. The pot done boiled over. It's only so much anybody gonna take from somebody else that's injustice. And it's time to clean house, Officer, better known as overseer, you can't contain. When you got a country that's more concerned with a new aircraft carrier than investing in the education system and a jobs program, or even rebuilding its own infrastructure so they can compete in a world market, What you're seeing in Baltimore and other places around the United States that are not being televised is just that. It's a country that has gone so greedy, its greed has exceeded its need to do what is right. So, that's EG's take on it, And sometimes shit gotta happen. So people pay attention to what was considered the throwaway generation. You can't throw people away and think God gonna roll with you, because he ain't. That's my take on it.
Really tense. Looks like that, we do have some tear gas in the air. I'm going to try to gather my thoughts here. We got to this scene around 3 in the afternoon. When we arrived here at the Mondawmin Mall, there were